Listening Library presents Incredibles 2, A Real Stretch, an Elastigirl Prequel story by Carla Jablonski, read for you by Lisa Flanagan.
Chapter 1. Crash! Elastigirl's head whipped around at the sound of breaking glass. She shot quick glances up and down the street. It had been a very quiet morning for the super on patrol in Municiberg. Till now. She heard a shout come from around the corner. Using her very special superpower, Elastigirl stretched and stretched and stretched her neck. She popped her head around the edge of the building to take a quick look. She spotted the culprit immediately. A man dressed all in black with a very obvious bald spot on the back of his head. He was leaping into an open convertible, one hand brandishing a collection of jewels, a long pearl necklace dangling between his fingers. The broken jewelry store window told her the rest of the story. Could it be? Could this thief be none other than Mysterious Melvin, the criminal mastermind who had been responsible for a spate of jewelry store break-ins? Elastigirl knew exactly how to find out. She stretched her arm all the way to the store and wiggled it through the broken window, taking care to avoid the sharp shards of glass. She picked up the piece of fancy stationery left on a pedestal that had just moments before held thousands of dollars worth of jewelry. She retracted her arm and read the note. Yep, Mysterious Melvin was at it again. So far, the thief had eluded police. They hadn't been able to pinch him yet, and the police were pretty annoyed. Moreover, the criminal taunted them after each burglary, leaving a note at the crime scene that read, "What's yours is mine. Ha ha, MM." There were rumors that he had once been an escape artist with a vaudeville sideshow. Others said he'd had a failed career on the stage. What everyone agreed on was that he was daring and inventive, and no one knew what he looked like. A master of disguise, not only did Mysterious Melvin completely change his appearance for each crime, but he never used the same escape method twice. That made him very difficult to apprehend, unless he was caught in the act. Like now. Suddenly, the crime alert signal Elastigirl wore pinned to her headband went off, ding-ding-dinging and flashing red. She tapped the button and shouted, "I'm on it," letting the other supers and the National Supers Agency know she was in pursuit of the perp. Melvin's car kicked into high gear, and so did Elastigirl. She raced after the speeding vehicle. "Come on, feet," she urged, pushing herself hard to catch up. But Mysterious Melvin had a head start, and he careened through the streets in clever, evasive moves. "I need more speed," Elastigirl thought. Not for the first time. Even though she was stretching her legs to capacity, the length of 2 city blocks, Melvin was getting away. She spotted a group of motorcycle enthusiasts hanging out in front of a soda shop a few blocks ahead of her. Reaching out with a super-stretched arm, she tapped one of the riders just as he was about to mount his bike. She grabbed the handlebars with her other hand. "Hey, fella," she hollered, her head still a full street away. "Can I borrow this?" Startled, the guy whipped around, stumbling away from the motorcycle. When he saw whom those spaghetti-like arms belonged to, a wide grin spread on his face. "Anything for you, Elastigirl," he shouted. Elastigirl snapped her arms back to their normal length, yanking the powerful bike underneath her. She revved the engines and took off with a vroom. "Go get him, Elastigirl! You're swell! Yay, Elastigirl!" The cheering was nearly drowned out as the motorcycle roared past the group. She hunkered down low, feeling the rumble of the bike vibrate through her. Peering through her red mask, she set her sights on the rapidly vanishing vehicle up ahead. Tires squealed as the reckless driver made one sharp turn after another. She charged after the speeding convertible with a roar. She wove in and out of traffic, always keeping her brown eyes trained on her quarry. The motorcycle was faster than her feet, but not as fast as that souped-up car. Maybe she could grab Mysterious Melvin's steering wheel and control the car from the motorcycle, or somehow stomp the car's brakes. She gripped the sides of the motorcycle tightly with her legs. Releasing first one arm, then the other, she steadied herself hands-free on the back of the speeding bike. She stretched out her arms. Whoa! Elastigirl let out a yelp as the motorcycle swerved and dipped. She yanked back her arms. Jeepers! Having her arms all the way out like that messed with her balance on the bike. She revved the motor, but the bike was already moving at top speed. She decided to try reaching out to step on the convertible's brakes. If she stretched only one leg, maybe she'd still be able to control the bike. Leaning a bit to one side to compensate for the shift in her weight distribution, she stretched out a leg. Longer, longer, longer. Melvin sped around a corner. Elastigirl gnashed her teeth as she retracted her leg. To make that turn, she'd have to be sitting squarely on the bike. If only the motorcycle could stretch along with her. If that had been possible, she'd have caught Mysterious Melvin by now. Come on, come on, come on! She gripped the handlebars tightly as she swooped around the corner. Her red gloves stretched across her knuckles. She was not going to let Melvin get away with this robbery. Not going to let him laugh at the police department again. No, sir. What's happening up there? Elastigirl murmured, frowning as the traffic in front of her came to a standstill. She zipped her motorcycle between the stopped cars and trucks. Yes! She cheered when she spotted the cause of the slowdown. An overturned garbage truck. Right in front of Mysterious Melvin's convertible. Mysterious Melvin may have had a head start, but Elastigirl was the one with the luck, not to mention the superpowers. Elastigirl leapt off the motorcycle. She stretched her legs to the max and picked her way through the cars and the toppled garbage bags toward Mysterious Melvin's hemmed-in convertible. Her nose wrinkled as she neared the garbage truck. Sheesh, what a smell. Even high above the street, the stench was nearly overpowering. The whole area was strewn with fish bones, wet newspapers, dirty diapers, old tissues, and other trash that Elastigirl really didn't care to identify. Melvin was banging the steering wheel in frustration. "Get out of the way!" he shouted. When Elastigirl's super-tall shadow loomed over him, he glanced up. Elastigirl noticed he was wearing a very intricate mask made of little mirrors that reflected his surroundings, including the sparkly loot resting on the seat beside him. "No!" Mysterious Melvin scrambled to undo his seatbelt. "Sorry, Melvin," Elastigirl said. "What's yours is mine." She reached into the open car and yanked him out with one hand, then grabbed the handful of jewels with the other. On her stretched legs, she towered over the stalled vehicles and gaping pedestrians. She looked around, trying to figure out what to do with the thief. Ah! Stepping over the stopped cars, she dumped Mysterious Melvin into the back of the garbage truck. "It's time to take out the trash," she quipped. Whoosh! Elastigirl turned to see a sheet of ice forming a path leading directly toward her. She knew what that meant. "Frozone," she said in greeting to her pal and fellow super. Frozone slid up with a flurry of ice shavings as he came to a stop. "Elastigirl, what do we have here?" Slim and sleek, Frozone radiated cool. And it wasn't just because of his power to harness water molecules in the air to send ice blasts, create slick frozen pathways, and turn villains into popsicles. "One master thief apprehended," Elastigirl announced proudly. "The cops can take it from here." Elastigirl waved over the police officers who hovered nearby. Once they'd approached, she tossed the jewels to one officer.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?